Greetings and salutations from the State Railway of Thailand. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to work on an international railroad? I certainly had. So, I packed my camera and headed to Thailand. Trains in Thailand are very different than the ones you find in the United States. But despite their differences, both Thai and US railroads still have lots in common. Yes, the State Railway of Thailand may have different rolling stock than American trains, rolling on different gauge track than American trains, but both railroads are united in their ability to get thousands upon thousands of tons of cargo and, of course, thousands upon thousands of passengers safely to their destinations each and every day. So why don't we climb aboard this train and discover just how the State Railway of Thailand gets the job done and keeps their rails rolling. Welcome to Inland Container Depot Lat Krabang, the beating heart of the State Railway of Thailand's Bangkok area rail freight operations. With over 400,000 containers coming in and out each and every year, the State Railway of Thailand relies on powerful locomotives to help keep operations running smoothly. Locomotives like this CRRC CDA5B1. With delivery commencing in 2022, these red workhorses have become the backbone to the State Railway of Thailand's rail freight fleet. It's these locomotives which pull the 12 scheduled daily container trains from the massive Lang Chabang container port to the south to the inland port here on the outskirts of Bangkok. But it's not just those red workhorse locomotives you'll see prowling up and down the tracks of the inland port. Thailand and its state railway are at the forefront of a technological railroad revolution. The State Railway of Thailand has decided to invest in a brand new fleet of CRRC manufactured battery-powered locomotives to help revolutionize its container freight operations. Is the State Railway of Thailand's latest locomotive, an all-electric affair with 6 axles. It can pull over 100 containers at 125 kilometers an hour. Now this is a real train right here. A real train indeed, built with the very latest in railroad technology by CRRC. This locomotive and battery tender are the first of over 50 on order, which will soon traverse Thailand's expansive railroad network. But first, it has to go through some serious testing. Testing which will mainly focus on this locomotive's principal asset, its absolutely enormous 40-foot battery. Boasting a range of 200 kilometers and a 40% energy savings when compared to traditional diesel locomotives, this power bank is the real deal, especially when you consider its 10-minute station charging time and 60-minute rapid charging time when on the go. It's this electric innovation that excites not only the State Railway of Thailand, but the entirety of the railroad world. A world whose metaphorical motive power is being provided by the innovators and forward thinkers at institutions such as the State Railway of Thailand. But technologically advanced, efficient, and environmentally conscious motive power is only one ingredient in the larger concoction the State Railway of Thailand has cooked up to ensure that those 400,000 containers which make their way in and out of the inland port are able to quickly and efficiently do so. Yes, indeed, the State Railway of Thailand's recipe for success is both multi-stepped and multifaceted. But as with every recipe, there always has to be the first ingredient. And for the State Railway of Thailand, that first ingredient would be the 12 trains which constantly shuttle containers from the seaport to the inland port. This locomotive's job is done, at least for now. All it has left to do is to run around its train to hook on to the other side so it will be able to pull the empty container cars back to the seaport. Speaking of containers, let's focus on the star of the show. Seaport containers, freshly off ships, originating from ports all around the world. A single SRT container train can bring in roughly 36 40-foot containers. Multiply that number by 12 trains a day, and the end result is an enormous amount of containers needing to be unloaded, moved on the trucks, and out to the city of Bangkok. So just how does the State Railway of Thailand and its inland port complete such a monumental task every day? Well, it relies on an arsenal of tools and tricks to help it efficiently move large volumes of containers quickly. One of the most important tools utilized at the inland port would be its fleet of container trucks. Known colloquially as yard dogs, these specialized trucks are tasked with shuttling containers to and from various sites, such as customs facilities or storage areas. But as important as these yard dog trucks are, they couldn't get the job done without another crucial container yard tool, that being the container crane. Just look at the size of this thing. Dozens of these massive movers shuffle their way to and from various destinations on the container yard. They are involved in almost every aspect of operations here at the inland port, but most importantly, moving containers from the trains to trucks to container stacks. The backbone of the inland port's roadside operations, these all-encompassing machines are hard to miss. And just when you think one has passed you by, you'll turn around to see another one headed your way. It's their versatility, flexibility, and strength which makes them such a valuable asset on the inland port. So let's see one in action. Container cranes will find themselves performing a variety of lifting jobs throughout their working day here at the inland port. This container crane, for example, is unloading containers from this stack of recent arrivals and moving them onto awaiting trucks, which will transport the containers to customers all around the city of Bangkok. It takes some serious skill to be able to safely operate one of these machines. Not only is the driver responsible for safely handling the multi-ton container he is carrying, but they are also responsible for safely navigating said container through towering container stacks, but also weaving their way through a constant onslaught of never-ending truck traffic. A keen observer will notice that there are multiple different types of container cranes being used at the inland port. This type of crane, for example, is ideal for working in confined spaces and is excellent at lifting containers vertically off of trains or trucks and onto tall container stacks.
Man.
Other container cranes rely on a more modern design, such as this one, which is equipped with a telescoping hydraulic boom, which allows the crane to effortlessly pluck containers from above off of truck bed or train cars and place them either very low on the ground or very high up in the air. It's the brute strength and sheer versatility of these machines which makes them such a valuable asset to the inland port.
Trains like this one here will soon be hauling containers like this one here. Hundreds of them from freight all around the world, loaded and unloaded from these stacks and placed right on those containers over there to be taken all over Thailand for consumers to enjoy. But first, they have to get up high.
Yes, indeed, despite the inland port being fueled and fed by trains, it's the container cranes and trucks which keep things rolling and on track. Trucks, trains, and cranes, they're all key ingredients to the inland port's recipe for success. A recipe which combines the highest standards of operations and safety. A recipe which is able to move over 400,000 containers each year to and from the Bangkok area. It's a recipe that uses cutting-edge and innovative technology to both reduce emissions and increase efficiency. Yes, it's a time-tested, tried-and-true recipe for success, which the State Railway of Thailand has perfected, resulting in the finest inland container port in all of Southeast Asia. A container port which not only proudly serves Bangkok, but the entirety of the nation of Thailand. But if you think the SRT is only about freight railroading, then you'd be very much mistaken. Don't let its 6 axles fool you. This locomotive is one of Thailand's premium passenger pullers. These trains can be found at Hoa Lamphong, one of 2 major stations within Bangkok. This gorgeous head house was built in the Italian Neo-Renaissance style and opened in the year 1916. Take a stroll inside the head house and you'd swear you were there in 1916. The station gleams as if it was brand new. Inside the station you'll also find a few trains which looked like they were around in 1916. In particular, this immaculately kept steam locomotive. However, despite its glamour, this station is still fully functioning, serving hundreds of trains a day. Trains which were pulled by modern workhorse locomotives like this UM-12C built by General Electric. Now, for the American railroad enthusiast, the name General Electric should ring a bell. That's right, Amtrak and SRT do have something in common. But if it wasn't for that builder's plate, You'd be hard-pressed to tell that this locomotive shared any similarity with the American P-42. Despite both being built by GE, this locomotive is an all-Thai affair. From its number board and government seal, to its unique six-axled, veranda-styled design. Yes, these General Electric workhorses form the backbone of the State Railway of Thailand's passenger operations. With over 50 in number, you'd be hard-pressed not to see one working on the rails. And working like a horse is just what we find this General Electric locomotive doing here in downtown Bangkok. It's currently on switching duty, building a long-distance train bound for destinations far and wide over the vastness of the nation of Thailand. With this friendly conductor acting as the engineer's eyes in the rear, the train begins its construction process by backing onto a set of cars located in the first track of the station. Once coupled, the conductor rushes to the new back of the train and allows the engineer to pull forward off of track 1 to switch to track 2. And so the arduous process of building a train continues, one track and one car at a time. It's not uncommon for these outermost tracks of the central station to be used as switching grounds for trains being constructed. By allowing these cuts of cars platform access, they can be serviced and prepared prematurely for the big train trip ahead. The benefit of this, of course, being that once the servicing is done, all that's left for the engineer to do is to couple his locomotive onto the front cut of cars, build a train, and prepare to jet off to destinations far and wide. As the train gets longer and longer and more cars are added to the consist, the train barely fits within the confines of the platform. Fortunately for this yard crew, their job is almost done. All that's left for them to do is to safely guide their fully built train onto its designated boarding track, tie it down, and go have a well-deserved rest after an hour's worth of back and forth train building. Once the boarding process is complete, all that's left to do for this engineer is wait for dispatch clearance to depart. And so, as this train departs, so must I, from the bustling city of Bangkok, from the beautiful nation of Thailand, and from the silver-tinged rails of the State Railway of Thailand. I hope you've enjoyed learning with me about what railroad operations are like in different countries. I know I certainly did. Thank you for watching this special episode of Mainline South, and wherever the rails of the world may take you, may your switches be lined for success, and the rails before you clear of obstruction. Hello, this is Mainline South. I'm coming at you to say an extra special thank you to the State Railway of Thailand's Inland Container Port Lat Krabon for giving me unprecedented access to film and photograph your railroad operations. It was one of the most astoundingly zesty and special experiences I've ever had the privilege to partake in. Your kindness, generosity, and patience warmed my heart and soul. Thank you for everything you did to make this video and this wonderful experience possible. And of course, most importantly of all, thank you all for all you did to make sure I felt right at home here on the rails of the State Railway of Thailand.